Hello and welcome to Medical Dialogues Journal Club. I am Dr. Nandita Mohan, and today I am going to discuss a recently published article titled Advancing Reproductive Healthcare Medicine. Now, this research has been published in the Journal of Reproductive Healthcare and Medicine, which is published by Scientific Scholar. To talk to us in detail about this editorial, we have with us today the editor-in-chief of the journal, Dr. Professor Nirmal Kumar Lohiya, Emeritus Professor NAMS, and the associate editor of the journal, who is also the author of the article, Dr. Rita Bakshi from the Department of Gynecology, RISA IVF, Delhi, India. Welcome to Medical Dialogues, ma'am and sir. It's really a privilege to be having you on board here with us today.
Privilege ourselves.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Great. Now, if I may start with you, Dr. Lohiya, what is the main objective of the Indian Society for the Study of Reproduction and Fertility? Now that we're discussing that in a little bit more detail today.
Certainly. In fact, the ISSRF, or Indian Society for Study of Reproduction and Fertility, is almost more than 3 decades old when it was established in 1988. And interestingly, it started with a main objective that it can provide a platform to scientific fraternity within the country and also around the globe to exchange their views, share their recent research findings, and then we would also focus on what are the priority health issues. Based on this, the annual meetings are being held. And it is really a pleasure to share that ever since the society was formed, we are having, without any break, all through annual meetings. And all these annual meetings are meant to update the current scenario in reproductive health, and then the proceedings are being published and being circulated all around. This is one thing. Then we feel that this is the science at a very high level which we exchange, but at the same time the society has a mandate that the reproductive health issues should also be used as the awareness program, and the society always have midterm activities as well, sometimes in the month of September, and the annual meeting sometimes in the month of February. And all through many years, this has been regularly being done. The midterm activity provides the awareness about the basic reproductive health issues to school students and to college students, so that they can take care of their reproductive health needs. And this is a second thing which society has been doing. Now, society also publishes a newsletter, and this newsletter is published 2 times in a year. One is released in September, another in February. And regularly, this is 33rd newsletter is being recently released in the ISSRF 2025 meeting, which was held in February 2025. And this is another very popular publication which provides updates to everyone, because we send it across all around 2,000 members of society. Also send it to the premier institutions of the country and put it on the website of the society. So this is another very important aspect. And the third thing which we feel is in the form of the journal, and which you are aware about, Journal of Reproductive Healthcare and Medicine. Now, I must compliment the scientific scholar for taking initiative in ensuring that it is published very regularly, and we have Dr. Rita also joining very recently and contributing to making it more visible. And I would also like to share at this platform that we have Dr. Pritesh, who is very personally interested in the promotion of the journal, and we have Krupa Seth also doing good. Dr. Datta Gupta is also taking personal interest to see that it is become more and more popular all the time. And I also would like to Professor PK Misra, who is also co-editor-in-chief of the journal, and also Professor Ansari and Dr. Barkha. They are the people who are helping to see that journal is becoming popular. And at the same time, when Secretariat, ISRF Secretariat, it takes care that as soon as we receive the manuscript, we immediately assign it to the editors for review. And once we get the review comments, we go through it and then see that in case it needs to be revised, we do that. And then finally, I appreciate that the team at Scientific Scholar, they ensure that it is published. So in a summarized manner, I would say that ISSRF is playing a very important role in terms of promoting reproductive health research all through the country and around the globe.
Great, great. Now, coming to you, Dr. Rita, it has been said many times that women's health is vital for individual well being, for family health, and even for societal progress. So, what is your take on that, and how can this actually be achieved?
So, first, I would like to thank, the Journal of Reproductive Healthcare and Medicine, which has and Scientific Scholar and Dr. Sunny Dattagupta, who have all helped me to be the associate editor of this very fine journal. As Dr. Lohiya said, I am a recent joinee, but I am to assure everybody that I am taking my role very seriously, and I would be contributing to the best of my ability. Well, coming to the fact of women's health, I am extremely passionate, Nandita, about women's health, and sometimes I think people. In the previous times, people there was a gender bias. There was a lot of people who would say they would be looking down on women. Now I sometimes think women themselves, uh, would probably put their own health at the back door, and they would probably put their children, their husband, their work, their role as sister, mother, daughter, wife, everywhere first, and themselves at the last. It is so important, according to me, that every single woman should look after her health. And why I say so? Because I feel that she's a pivot on which the whole family, the smallest unit is a family which revolves. She's the one who's going to impart education to her kids. She's the one who's going to give nutritious food. She's the one who's going to give hygiene. She's going to the one who's going to create awareness. She's the one who's going to bring the whole family. And if there is something wrong with her, the whole family goes down. With her going down, of course, the whole society and the nation, everything will not develop. So I think it's very important that every single woman looks after her own health, with her exercise regimen. We know every woman, osteoporosis. You don't look after your health. We know the heart health, There are people, of course, there are families still, who would not put women, on the forefront. But more and more women are getting empowered. They are on every leadership role. And everybody now wants, not only financially they are contributing in every single way in the development of family, society, and country. So I think it's very important that women take their own health extremely seriously, and not put it at the back burner. Just like in the airline, they say pehle apna mask lagao, phir look at the. So it's something like that. First look after your own health, and then of course once you're healthy, I'm sure the whole family and the whole country progresses.
Great, that's a wonderful thought, ma'am. Now, coming to you, Dr. Lohiya, as a pioneer in reproductive medicine, what is your opinion that has led to such vast increases in patients seeking infertility treatment?
I think there could be several reasons. And if we review why there has been increase in the infertility percentage of the people, and they are seeking infertility treatments, we feel primarily the lifestyle is very important factor, and that people over the time slowly changing their lifestyle. And the change in lifestyle can include many things like delayed marriages, delayed childbearing. All these things are contributing to infertility, because you know that the quality of the gametes would be there. It is age dependent. And at the same time, you find that there could be several comorbidity factors. People suffering with diabetes, suffering with obesity, suffering with cancer problems, and specifically when people suffering with the reproductive tract cancers, they are also subject to infertility. So we see that the infertility, maybe early marriages also results into this, late marriages also results into this, the late childbearing also results into this. The several of these factors contribute to the infertility. At the same time, we see that people are now getting educated, aware that there has been a lot of advancement in the reproductive medicine, and because of this, people feel that no problem. Even IT industries, people are working and career conscious, and they feel, oh, 30 years is too early to get married, 40 years is too early to get married, let us get settled in our life. I have seen in my own family my son who said that, oh, Papa, I can get married. Still there is a time. They decided to have a child much at a later stage. We realized that this is a common practice, and it used to be in Western world, but it is now becoming very common in our country as well. And not only in the rural, urban background, but in rural also we find that this thing is happening. And all these things, when the people know, no problem, if there will be infertility, there is a IVF provision available. So they feel that if the child bearing would be a problem, we have a provision that will go to ART and we will get a baby through the ART on IVF. So the advancement in science and particularly in reproductive medicine, that also one of the factor, and the professional commitments with the people. They think that yes, we have first priority to our profession and we want to get settled in our career. And specifically when husband and wife both are working, then it is common. When they leave the house at early morning 7 o'clock, and I have observed at our place when many people come for the male factor infertility or female factor infertility, we observe that this is because of their lifestyle. They leave the house at 7 o'clock, they return at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock after tired and terribly, preoccupied with even at home professional commitments, and that results into infertility. So their sexual life is perturbed and results into increased infertility. And I think these all factors together resulting into increased number of infertile couples. And obviously we see that over the time, if you look into the ICMR registry about IVF centers in the country, you will find that many people have not yet registered, but I feel that the number is tremendous, and it is because people are now seeking treatment for infertility through ART and IVF facilities.
I can add to this, Nandita, to Dr.
Definitely.
Lohiya's, and like his son, my daughter, who, the same problems which all of us are facing. And we've actually opened a center only for egg freezing. So it's a sole center for egg freezing, because I find awareness on this front is extremely important. You see, there are a lot of, and in fact, I had actors coming in, and they told me why, they think they're eating healthy, their bodies are nice, they're exercising. Then why, I have to explain to them that the chronological biological clock is ticking. Whatever is happening, we just cannot escape that. So it's very important to know the age at you. And I agree with Dr. Lohiya when he says no couple feels settled. I tell them, even I am not settled at 60. What you will develop at 30, 35, but you have to have children. You see, and I think just like him, I am also becoming a big believer of the fact that you should marry young, have children young. It's good to be empowered, educated, but you just cannot escape from this fertility clock. And it is very important that we teach everybody who comes into our domain that, please marry at the right time, have children at the right time. Everything else can wait, but this is not going to wait. So, of course, I agree, drugs and alcohol and multiple sexual partners. That's another thing. So much of increase in the sexual diseases now. So all this is adding, and I will agree. People say, why people so many IVF centers? Why? I mean, people. But the fact happens that it is the number of population, the number of people who require is equally increasing. So that is why the number of centers are increasing.
True.
So I thought I'll
Very
just add
true.
on to that. Yes.
Definitely,
I
definitely,
think
ma'am.
that's
It's actually a well said thought that there is a reason why so many IVF centers are increasing. So we have to
yes.
actually it all comes down to, as you mentioned, marry early, having kids early. If the biological clock is utilized at the correct way, then all these problems may not arise.
At platforms, we put this thing as a priority and educate people that timely marriage, timely childbearing, and all things are very important. And this education through RF and through annual and midterm activities have helped people realizing that yes, timely doing things are very important for maintaining good reproductive health issues.
Yes, yes, sir. Truly, that is actually a true fact. Now, coming back to you now, Dr. Rita, in your experience, what has been the impact of COVID-19 on the fertility of the surviving population? Now, we've had a spur of the pandemic and it hit us really hard for close to 3 years, and we are still coping with the repercussions. So, how do you feel that it has hit on the fertility stage of the surviving population?
I would take that as a two-pronged. People got time, people sat home, people started working from home. They had nothing much to do. So I know of a few couples who conceived, they didn't have the time, they didn't have the energy. But now sitting home, but that's one part. The other part is the COVID virus itself. This is an RNA virus and it combines with the ACE2, the angiotensin converting enzyme to receptors. And when it combined with these receptors, these are present in the lungs, in the kidney, in the heart, and in the testes. So when they combine, and there is a chance of their combining and damaging the testes, causing orchitis, and there were, reports of damaged sperms, number, as well as morphology, motility. Every parameter did get disturbed. Having said that, I would say, pandemics don't happen every day. When they happen, there was also a talk on the vaccination. Was the vaccination required? Did the vaccination itself cause any damage? So there have been talks about this, but I would say, more or less, I would not say there have been statistically significant changes that I can say that yes, I mean it damaged us in a very very big way. Definitely, the on the male parameters, it did have an effect. But all in all, I would say, when we compare it with people who went to ICU and didn't live at all, vis-a-vis the effect on gametes and on the embryos and on fertilization process, there definitely was, like any viral infection, did cause damage, but I wouldn't say that it has been statistically extremely significant.
Okay, okay. Now, coming back to you, Dr. Lohiya, what are the recent advances that you think will change the face of reproductive medicine as we know it today?
Before I respond to your question, what Professor Dr. Rita mentioned, I would just like to show, I brought it particularly. This is the GRHF Journal of Health and Medicine, brought up a special issue only during the COVID, people suffering with the 19. What was the reproductive status of the people? And this is Dr. Professor Nita Singh and Dr. Monica Seni from All India Institute of Medical Sciences. They took the initiative in bringing out this special issue. And we have another effort ongoing where Dr. Rita will also agree that Professor Pradyuman Misra is working hard bring out another very special issue for which 24 articles have already been received and they are in the process. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to say that how GRHM is working so well.
Very nice.
Coming back to responding to your question, that advancements, you just see there have been tremendous advances in reproductive medicine. If we look into the past and recent past, we see that in the recent past there has been tremendous advances in terms of understanding basic reproductive processes, a male and female reproductive process. And as well, we never knew that you can handle sperm, ova in a comfortable manner. You can fertilize them outside. You can perform ICSI. So many things are now becoming a routine thing. But what is more important is when we talk of the advances, we feel that cryopreservation. We never even imagine that you can preserve sperm, egg, or some tissues, and they can be preserved for quite some long time. Now, what is the utility of advancement, particularly and people suffering in the reproductive age before they have had one or two children? They want that their gametes should be so that they can have, after they have undergone the radiotherapy, chemotherapy, whatever treatment modalities are there, they might lose the reproductive potential to have a baby, so they can preserve and have a baby later on when they come back. So this type of reproductive medicine advances in terms of the understanding, in terms of methodological development, in terms of physical knowledge and awareness to the society has resulted into better reproductive health medicine availability to the society. So I feel that at a very fast pace, the advances are taking place. No wonder that in times to come, we may come across many more such advances where the understanding about the reproductive medicine would be enormous, and people, if they are having more knowledge, we only wish that it is not misused, it is used. If they know that they can preserve, if it is a necessity that they are undergoing the radiotherapy, chemotherapy or some sort of thing, then they can preserve, but not as a delayed marriages or late childbearing. Also, people feel that they can do it. So this is, I feel that there has been a tremendous advances in reproductive medicine. Stem cell therapy, there's a lot of work being done. Understanding about genetic counseling, lot of advancement is never we knew that if there is a problem, the understanding about genetic counseling. So before marriage also, before childbearing also, and if there is any reproductive disorder is there, then experts like Dr. Rita and other several IVF specialists are there, who have strong infrastructure available at their place, and they provide that yes, before you go for a marriage, go for the genetic counseling. If you go for a child bearing, so lot of advancement from every point of view, we feel that it has taken place in medicine.
Great. Now, lastly, Dr. Rita, what will be your advice to young clinicians, especially women who actually wish to pursue a career in this field?
I would say there is not a better field. I'm so happy. You know, I trained in cancer and then I came to this beautiful field of creating babies and satisfying I don't know how many couples, because this is a need. You know, it's a dire need of anybody, of couples who got married, even single women. Well, for that matter, government has given a green signal to single women also who can now, I mean, not that this is what I want, but the government is probably looking at the changing scenario of people who are wanting to conceive. I would tell all young people who are who would like to get into this field, not only can you become a clinician if you are an MBBS MD, but you can be an andrologist, you can be an embryologist, you can be a counselor, you can be a psychologist, you can be an endocrinologist. all so many fields which are open. So anybody with a scientific bent of mind can definitely pursue this field. It's not only very financially satisfying, it is very satisfying because the happiness that you look at the couples when they conceive is just mind blowing. And I would also say, because the newer advances that are coming in, the time lapse technology, the embryoscope, you can actually look at the embryo, every single cell multiplying in seconds. It's visible. And now you have CRISPR. That's a technology in which you can actually edit the genes. And as Dr. Lohiya said, of course it's still in the research format, because we don't want everybody to come and saying change my this gene. But if there's a defective gene, if you have a breast cancer gene going in your families, you definitely don't want your daughters to inherit those kind of genes. So similarly, so many disorders which have specifically retinoblastomas, and all these kind of disorders which you don't want, this kind of technology is really going to change the whole picture. With artificial intelligence coming in, there's another thing. And the youngsters, what they are also good at it. So everybody, I feel I would really give them a thumbs up and say, this is a field to be in today. Yes. So my advice to all women, men or women, but definitely women, as a woman, I can say it is extremely satisfying to be in this kind of a field.
Great. So thank you so much, Dr. Rita. Thank you so much, Professor Lohiya, for joining us today at Medical Dialogues and talking about this important aspect of one person's life. And it definitely is a much needed awareness that we actually need to spread the word across. So thank you so much once again for being a part of this discussion and giving us all your valuable insights on this topic.
Thank you, Medical
Big thank
Dialogue
you to
Scientific
Dr.
Corner.
Nandita ji,
Again,
Dr. Rita ji, and I'm
thank
sure that this platform will serve as a source of awareness to the large number of community people, and they will get lesson from it in terms of having a better reproductive health medicine using
thank
their
you.
in career.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you once again. Thank you so much for making me a part of it. Thank you.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.